Good fine evening to you fellows out there in YouTube land. This is Jeff C. It's the April 25th and late Thursday evening, and I'm looking in the news here and I see one of my favorites, or one of the favorite guys I like to rip apart here is Cenk Uygur of the Young Turds. And he's gonna do a little kill piece on Alex Jones here.
In the beginning of the Boston bombing story, Alex Jones came out with a conspiracy theory, of course. It's a false flag operation, and the government was going to use this to blame the Tea Party. Now, it turns out there was a problem with that theory, because the government didn't say the Tea Party did it. In fact, they found two Muslim brothers who had done it. And Alex Jones went, well, of course they did. Why, of course? It looks like you were totally wrong. No, once they found out I was on to them, then they switched it into a double false flag and made them Muslim. And now they're going to come back and connect it to me so they can go back to the Tea Party angle. What? And then the lizard people take off their masks and they go, whoa.
Yeah, that's and then Cenk does his little shtick and goes, whoa. That's what he likes to do. He's a clown. He should be in drama or something. That's what he's more suited for. You notice the portrayal of Alex here. He looks red-faced and angry. Very tin-foil hattish looking picture that they use. Young folks might be confused about the Young Turds. They might think, well, they're progressive, they're democratic, they care about things. Maybe they do. Maybe they're just too stupid to realize what's really going on in this world. But this guy has failed time and time again at the worst possible times. When people could really use a guy with this, his level of following, because he does have a big following despite his big stupid mouth that he can't shut. But he's gonna continue here on his hit piece. We'll go a bit further into it, but just as you see, I mean, it's the lizard people right away. Even though Alex, from what I know, doesn't really buy the lizard people thing. That's David Icke, right? Or Icky, as Greg likes to say. I like Icky.
So,
I like Ike.
The Associated Press pointed out that, in fact, the older Zarnia brother, Tamerlan, had visited InfoWars, Alex Jones' website. And Alex was beside himself. Aha! Quote, he could be a listener. He could be true. I've talked to the family, and most of them are listeners. Okay? All right, that seems close. That makes sense. So he's a listener. It happens, and it's not Alex's fault. But then, of course, here comes the twist on the conspiracy. He said, quote, I've seen this before. The federal government trying to connect me to tragedies. That's the media and the government's own conspiracy theories. But wait a minute, Alex, you just said that he could have been a listener and that you talked to his family and their listeners. So how could it be a government conspiracy against you to connect them if you think he is a listener? Did you plant a conspiracy?
Yeah, I think what he's doing right here is he's failing to show the full picture of what has been going on with Alex. I'm not a big Alex guy, but I've seen off other pages on the internet and in some forums that there's been a real smear job from several sources. Rachel Maddow, I haven't seen her video yet. That'll probably fire me up too. Anyways, so he's talking about Alex, claiming that there's a conspiracy against him, but I think it's more that they're using this particular event to target Alex, and the fact that he was on it pretty quickly as we were makes him a target, and maybe now they're finally really going after him. The whole team is getting on board now. So let's play this on and let's hear this young turd out.
Is Alex Jones the conspiracy himself? All right. He then goes on to say, oh, look, this is, quote, one of a number of plots hatched by the FBI. Well, of course, the FBI is constantly planting bombs and killing American people. Who doesn't know that? Obviously, that's what the lizard people do.
Yes. Who doesn't know that? This guy just, you just made a really infamous quote for yourself. Hopefully this will come back to burn you, because if you had been paying fucking attention, right? If you had been fucking paying attention, if you had been watching people like us, people like the Corbett Report, and many others out there who have done reporting on how the FBI has been behind every major terror plot since 9/11. That's a frickin' fact. And that's been quoted in the New York Times, and it's been in several major sources. And the Corbett Report just did a really great job on it. You should definitely go watch that video. And I'm always forgetting to put the links below, and I'm sorry. I get tired and lazy. Anyways, let's listen on.
And then, look, you might think, okay, and some of you love the conspiracies, and I know some people listen to Alex and they think like, oh no, he's got this thing figured out. And he smatters in a tiny bit of truth like, hey, the government does intrude on your privacy. And from time to time, there are conspiracies, like JFK was not likely to have been shot by one person, right? And then he stretches that to, well, obviously, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers are going to take over the whole world and kill 90% of the population.
Yeah. And this is how he does it. I don't watch this guy hardly ever, but whenever I see him, I really develop a very strong dislike towards him. Here you have a person who is he's a real tool. Now, maybe somebody can dig into this and find out if this guy is a la Anderson Cooper CIA, because more and more that I see, I'm starting to believe that perhaps he is. He's making these grandiose statements to try to paint Alex Jones as a complete nut job. And he's saying these things, and he's completely freaking clueless. If he really was, up to date with what real history is about and what false flags really are, and we've done a lot of stuff on our radio show on false flags. I've done a lot of history research into it. You can start with the Gulf of Tonkin, or you can go to Operation Northwoods, you can go to Bay of Pigs, you can go to all these different other events that have happened, 9/11, Sandy Hook, and now what we have here is the Boston bombing. And he'll mention a token one. He'll say, well, the Kennedy assassination, it doesn't seem right, right? That's tasteful. That's tasteful because culturally it's acceptable to believe in the Kennedy assassination because, fuck, it doesn't matter anymore. He died like 50 years, 50, 60 years ago, right? So it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anybody. It's all the fucking conspiracies that are happening right now, you dumb turd. That's the problem. You're not awake to them because you're hanging out with all yes men and yuck, yuck, yuck and watching the mainstream media. Or you're a fucking CIA or FBI fucking
He said
paid
that on our
minion.
show. Okay, so now he's about to jump the shark if you think he hasn't yet. You know how the younger brother, Johar, got shot in the throat and went out the back of his neck? No. Quote, that's that special throat surgery they did. The FBI did throat surgery on him to do what? To put a fake throat in there that...
Yeah, I haven't seen Alex say that quote. As I say, I rarely watch him, but I know Alex, and I know how he would talk, and I know he'd say they probably did something like that special throat surgery they did, right? They could take him completely out of context here and say, look, he believes that they did some crazy throat surgery on him. Well, all you have to do is watch the videos, some of the ones which we put up on our videos, which show the infrared images where they're targeting the guy using his heat signal in the boat and shooting at him. And then if you see the outside of the boat, you see a lot of bullet holes, right? So, they were really shooting to kill from what I saw. So, anyways, this is how he'll spin everything. Everything is spun. Every single thing. Look, they take a little soundbite, a little quote, and they go crazy with it. It's ridiculous.
Will now say things that the real throat couldn't say. I don't know if you know how the human body works, but it's not like your throat can now say things that you don't want it to say if the FDA does a special throat surgery. This is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Let's keep it real, okay?
And there again, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's all in the language. He's doing the same thing that they're doing with the Family Guy, with all these things. Sandy Hook, you know, they're planting these images. So look at the way that they're showing his face, the way he's angered and red-faced, and they're trying to make him look like a lunatic. And so nobody will listen to him. So you got, you know, however many thousands of people that turn into the young turds every day, and so many of them idolize this guy, and they think he knows a thing or two. Well, maybe he does know a thing or two, but one way or another, he's fucking full of shit, okay? Period. And he's full of shit at the worst fucking times. You know, if you guys all you youngsters get fucking caught up between the left-right bullshit, you're gonna be exactly where they want you, because there's nothing better than having that left-right paradigm, which this anus face fucking lives under, right? Or is an actor to keep propagating it and fucking keeping it going on forever. Anyways, let's hear more.
Says, my show exposes that most of the events we've seen have been provocateured. Indeed. No, they haven't. And there are incredibly legitimate things to criticize the government about, and they have run roughshod over our civil liberties. But they didn't do special throat surgery on Zahar Zarniev, and they didn't get Tamerlan Zarniev to listen to Alex Jones' show so that they could blame the Tea Party, but use Muslims to blame them.
How do you know that? How do you know any of that? You don't know any of it. They could have got him to listen to Alex Jones. As a fellow I put on one of my videos yesterday pointed out, is that they know how to target people, and they know what type of people to target. So perhaps they had this guy in their sights and started, you know, befriending him and sending him videos and getting him hooked to things like Alex Jones. Who knows? You don't know. You don't know. You just eat too many Doritos, fuck. Fucking dumbass.
Please use your common sense and logic and reason. Of course that didn't happen. But you can't get through to some people, no matter what. Now, do you know that there's now a free Jahar movement? And apparently his friends used to call him Jahar. And so people are putting, like, tattoos. I don't know if it's permanent tattoos, but certainly marks on their arms, etc. Getting T-shirts saying Free Jahar. There's a hashtag Free Jahar out there. Here's one supporter. He's fucking innocent. If you were guilty, it wouldn't take this long to fucking prove it. And it would actually be evidence. Okay, except there's overwhelming evidence. Like his confession? Okay.
Like his confession. That's just sad, isn't it? It's just sad. I mean, you're awake, right? You're awake. You know who these people are. The young turd fans that will come here and vote down this video by the thousands, perhaps, like they've done with other ones, are not awake to the reality. It's not that Alex Jones is, but he's a lot more, okay? It's not that Alex Jones knows exactly what's going on. No, he doesn't know exactly what's going on, and some of what he says is not so great, all right? And I wouldn't want him in charge, okay? I'll tell you that much, okay? So, but let's be fair to the man. A lot of what he says has a lot of proof, and a lot of what you people say, you mainstream corporate media, has zero proof. Like this whole Boston fiasco fucking farce from hell. Alright? This thing is falling apart, and these people should fall with it. They should fall with it, and then hopefully Sandy Hook falls right after, and then they start opening all the books on all the fucking things, going right back to 9/11. You know, this is what needs to happen to heal America. This is what is most necessary. These people are not providing you with the truth. They are perpetuating the fucking lie.
That's one piece of evidence that seems to be pretty relevant. Of course, they did the special throat surgery. I forgot about that, so that it was a fake. What are you guys doing? And apparently one of the things is that a lot of girls are doing this, and they think that he's cute. Yeah, that cute guy that murdered that 8-year-old boy, and other 2 women, and the officer, and shredded the bodies and tore the limbs off of all those people. What a...
Is that what Wolf Blitzer told you? Is that what you got from Wolf Blitzer? Where are you getting your facts from? Where? Because we haven't seen fuck all in evidence. So you go look at us with your fucking face and fucking smear and fucking laugh at people who question the official story. But you're just a fucking paid stooge. You should be ashamed of your fucking self, man. I hope you fucking fall. I hope one day this shit gets revealed and you fucking take a fall for it, man. Because you're fucking misleading a goddamn lot of people.
Cute guy. Look, it doesn't matter. You girl, boy, it doesn't matter, man. You go supporting this Free Your Heart movement, you're insane. You're a lunatic.
That's it. You're a lunatic. You're insane. You question the government. He said the exact fucking same thing. You know, here I thought I'd come on and I wouldn't get angry watching this. I try to be calm. But this guy gets me so fucking angry. He's the perfect fucking tool for the elite to fucking fool the youth. The perfect fucking tool. He's so dumb he actually believes in the fucking mainstream media. It's just a joke, man. I'm sorry if I get angry. It's just, you know, this is the time when people need to wake up, you know, and here's a clear example, and it's just so frustrating with, you know, we thought with Sandy Hook, that's why I went mad with Sandy Hook, because I thought, here's a chance to wake up people, here's a chance to show, to lift up the curtain, to show the wizard behind the curtain, or the fucking magician behind the curtain. The show's really running the show, and that these guys are not bringing us the truth at all. You know, and it's just really frustrating when you see these people here, and they are supposed to be something different than the corporate media, but they are begging to be the corporate media. They are the corporate media, de facto.
There's another guy who's a supporter says, there's proof that half the victims are fake. Don't go to the victims and tell them they're fake, you idiot. I mean, how sick and offensive are you? And of course, in every one of these conspiracies, always there ought to be more blood. And you see, if the plane had exploded in midair, then the wing would have ended up somewhere in Ohio and not in Pennsylvania. And if there was the heat and then the beams, and then there would have been more blood.
It's awful. It's awful. He's making fun of 9/11. You know, we are living in the post 9/11 world because of fucking fucktards like this. These fucking lying fat pieces of shit. You know? You don't get to this level. You don't have a position in the media this high and with this many listeners unless they fucking, you know, you sign a fucking deal somewhere or something. This guy, it's so frustrating because it's all, everything to him is hunky dory. They may do some bad things here and there, eh? Well, they did something bad with Kennedy, but that was a long time ago. They don't do anything bad anymore. No, they're good. They care about you. They love you. They don't want a population reduction. That's not why they're fucking doing all these secret eugenic programs and fucking Codex Alimentarius to take all the nutrients out of our fucking food, and Monsanto. It's probably fucking missile that Texas fertilizer plant, eh? No. They love us. Yeah, Ted Turner fucking loves us, Cenk. You heard? He just fucking loves us. You know, these guys are dangerous. This is what they're doing. It's awful. I'd much rather be doing something else than fucking going on this. But I think it's so important that it's a breaking point. You know, you either stand up now or forget about it. You know, we're really getting to that point. I mean, they're already talking now about fucking chemical drill in fucking New York. How much you want to bet something about fucking happens there? You know, they're gonna come one after another. They don't even take a break now. It's outrageous what's happening right now. It's outrageous. And people like this, you know, they're doing so much harm. And it's all about their opinion and what their fucking accepted opinion is.
And then if you look at the footage, you see that there's actually National Guard there. This is the Boston Marathon. There's some National Guard there. Man, this is deeply offensive and ridiculous stuff. Don't get into this nonsense rabbit hole. And by the way, the other thing it does is it delegitimizes...
Did you get that? Nonsense. Don't get into this nonsense rabbit hole. And then he quickly changed. Isn't that it's a bit of a Freudian slip there, I think. I think he doesn't want you to... Don't go into the rabbit hole. Because if you go into the rabbit hole, you're going to find out a lot of things that this guy doesn't want you to find out. So don't go into the rabbit hole. That's what he's here for. Don't go into the rabbit hole. That's what this fat dude is all about. You thumbs down me all you want, fuck. Stick your thumb up your ass while you're at it, fuck. Fucking young turds. Fuck this guy. Fucking scumbag. He's a fucking traitor to Americans. Americans, you know, you gotta stand up at some point. We all gotta stand up at some point.
Real criticism of the government. God, there's so much incredible criticism to make of the government. And anytime you go down this rabbit hole, they easily dismiss you, as they should, as lunatics.
They easily dismiss you, as they should, as lunatics. So anytime you go down the hole, this guy's fucking... He's coming out tonight. He's coming out. This guy's fucking CIA. He's FBI or CIA. Guaranteed, man. Guaranteed, man. This isn't accidental language. They don't put this on the end for an accident. What he's saying here is the most important part. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Otherwise, they'll say you're a lunatic, and you are. Right? Let me hear that again. Let me just make sure I got that correctly.
To make of the government, and anytime you go down this rabbit hole, they easily dismiss you, as they should, as...
Anytime you go down this rabbit hole, they easily dismiss you, as they should, as lunatics.
When in reality, we gotta protect our civil liberties. This is not the way to do it.
Wow.
Sanity, reason, logic is the way to do it.
Sanity, reason, logic. So I was looking at photos, looking at videos, trying to see if there's something not right, you know, saying, hey, that doesn't match up. Hey, that seems like a lie. That doesn't make sense. How comes that actor was used twice? How comes that fucking chick was used twice in two different terror attacks? The same fucking woman. That's CNN, right? One thing that everybody has to know by now, and if you don't, this is the awakening, is that the corporate media is all together now. They're all part of it. Okay? This fucking guy here, he's got a message. He's got a message to send to you. And that message is, don't go down that rabbit hole, you fucking lunatic. Or you'll be a fucking lunatic. Stay with us. We'll talk about the little things. You know, like the left, right. You know, we'll talk about that stuff. And we'll talk about Kim Kardashian, you know. And we'll talk about, you know, the occasional story here and there. A murder, maybe. You know, a senator who had a frickin' prostitute or something. Ah, you'll give us the real stuff, won't you? This guy's full of shit, and so is his fucking program. Fuck the Young Turks. Fuck the young turds. Fuck you if you fucking don't like it.